Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, great Biafrans, lovers of freedom all over the world. Wherever you're joining us from today, you're highly welcome to this wonderful YouTube platform that gives you quality news and information on all the activities happening in Biafran territory. Please subscribe to this channel if you've not yet subscribed. This is Let's Talk TV. And do not forget to turn on your notification because we will be notifying you on every issues pertaining to the Biafran cause and also all the whole information on the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá, Mazenam Dekano, and every related issue happening in Biafraland, every part of Biafraland. You are covered because this is Let's Talk TV, and where we talk about the Biafran freedom. Now, straight up to the broadcast that you're about to watch. This is an important broadcast. It's an emergency one, from the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá. In fact, this is a particular lecture, a very serious lecture that the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá gave. And in all these, he was able to clarify some certain things, some certain strategies on ways of achieving freedom. I keep on saying this. Freedom fighting is not something you just rush into without having a strategy. And you will agree with me that one good thing about Simon Èkpá is his consistency. And in fact, his strategic consistency, that is the word, his strategic consistency in making sure that things are done the right way and legally at the same time. Now, he was able to defend the fact that everything, every pattern in which he has been following to fight for this freedom was actually done by great countries like Finland, like Israel. In fact, today's focus is actually on Israel. The last one was, he focused mainly on Finland. There was a time he focused on United States of America and how their freedom came about. In all these, one thing he keeps on saying is propaganda is something that will definitely come. And he warned that there will be, more propagandas that will be coming. And this is a critical time for Biafrans to know what they are doing. So, wherever you are, wherever you're listening to the sound of my voice, and wherever you're listening to the sound of the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá's voice that will be playing in few seconds, you must understand that these propagandas are as a result of people who have actually seen where this guy is heading to. Initially, they thought it was child play. Do not forget that initially the whole propaganda and lies, against and distractions against the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá wasn't as strong as it is currently. It is getting stronger. In fact, it is getting stronger to the extent that it is getting international. And that is why these people have seen where this guy is going to, and they are head bent on making sure they bring him down by propagandas. The least you can do is to make sure you do not lose concentration of what is about to happen in Biafraland. Don't lose focus, because if you do, you'll be the one to regret at the end of the day. But meanwhile, let us listen to this powerful broadcast from the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá. The needful has to be done, and that needful is for you to share this video to as many groups and platforms as possible. Enjoy.
Fellow Biafrans all over the world, good afternoon, Biafrans in Australia. I thank you all for inviting me today and participating in this particular historic tour once again. My speech today and my message today to the Biafra people is the continuation of the enlightenment and awareness on our multi-dimensional approach to the liberation of Biafra. And today, I will be sharing just small history about how we have managed to dismantle Nigeria today using the multidimensional approach. And I'm going to take solace from Israel. My fellow Biafrans, do not allow Nigeria terrorist state nor their agent and affiliate to tell you you can't get your freedom. I am here to tell you that we are going to get our freedom, and we are going to do everything possible for this particular freedom to be achieved. And I'm going to share with you the story of Israel, which everybody knows about Israel, but many people do not know what Israel went through. And I will start with a man called Theodor Herzl. The Theodor Herzl was, should I say, a founder of the Zionist movement. Herzl was an Austro-Hungarian Jewish. He was a journalist, a lawyer, writer, and a political activist who was the father of the modern political Zionism. Many people are only hearing Israel, Israel, but they don't know what actually transpired that led to Israel becoming an independent state. Herzl formed the Zionist organization and promoted Jewish immigration to Palestine in an effort to form a Jewish state. In an effort to form a Jewish state. Today, there is a Jewish state called Israel, State of Israel. Due to his Zionist work, he is known in the Hebrew Kozeh, a visionary of the state. He is specifically mentioned even in the Declaration of Israel independence. This man was mentioned and is officially referred to as the spiritual father of the Jewish state. It is very important that our people, both especially the gullible ones, understand that your gullibility cannot stop the liberation of Biafra this year. Herzl was born in Pest, Kingdom of Hungary, to a prosperous newly Jewish family. After a brief legal career in Vienna, he became the Paris correspondent of the Viennese newspaper. He confronted the anti-Semitic event in Vienna. I hope you understand what anti-Semitism means. He reached the conclusion that anti-Jewish sentiment would make Jewish assimilation impossible. This man single-handedly rose up, stood up, because of the anti-Jewish activities across the world. He stood up, one man. And in 1896, Herzl published the pamphlet, The Judenstaat, in which he elaborated his vision for a Jewish homeland. Because of the attack, the anti-Jewish anti-Semitism, he had a vision. His ideas attracted international attention and rapidly established Hazel as a major figure in the Jewish world. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Are you seeing some similarity in what we are doing today, the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the rise of Simon Èkpá and the Biafra government in exile? In 1897, Hazel convened what we call the First Zionist Congress in Basel. First ever. My fellow Biafrans, do you see some similarity? In 2023, we had the first ever Biafra convention in Finland. First ever in the history of our freedom fighting. This man convened the first ever Zionist Congress in Basel, Switzerland. In Switzerland, and was elected the president of the Zionist organization. He began a series of diplomatic initiatives. I am talking about 18-something, when Usman Dan Fodio was conquering the northern Nigeria. When Usman Dan Fodio was killing the Hausas, this man was busy having a vision for a Jewish state of Israel. And then he began the diplomatic initiative to build support for Jewish state. I am telling you that we are not land anywhere. But that was a vision. That was a vision, and they pursued the vision. Some people who don't know anything how the world works will be telling you today who is the government, which government is supporting you, which state is supporting you, how can somebody support you when you are showing that you are an idiot? How can somebody support you when you are dependent on people and you have no thinking of your own? How can people support you when you have shown to be a slave to ordinary nomadic people who don't know what is civilization? But today, we have changed the narrative. Now they understand we are not slave nomadic. Now they understand there must be a need to support the liberation and the freedom of Biafra. Now they understand that people of integrity have risen up to show that Biafra has people of integrity and standard. He began a series of diplomatic initiatives to build support for Jewish state, appealing unsuccessfully to German emperor. He appealed to German emperor, was not successful. And Ottoman Sultan appealed to all these people, was unsuccessful. At the 6th Zionist Congress in 1903, they have had the first one, the second one, the third one, and the 6th one in 1903. Hazel presented the Uganda scheme. He even went as far as trying to build the state of Jewish state in Uganda of today. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that Israel had a vision to establish a state in Uganda? Present-day Uganda. That is people, I don't know how many of you, and of course, the gullible ones who are looking at what we're doing today are stupid and whatever. I don't know how many of them are aware of this, that Israel wanted to establish a state in Uganda, present Uganda, championed by Hazel. This was endorsed by Colonial Secretary Joseph Chamberlain on behalf of the British government. The proposal, which sought to create a temporary refugee for the Jews, ultimately rejected. Hazel died. This man died at the age of 44 in 1904 and was buried in Vienna. Now, Let us also go fast forward after the Hazel attempt to establish the Jewish state in Uganda, which was supposed to be the temporal refugee place, because of the anti-Semitism, anti-Jewish that was on rampage all over the world, just like they are trying to annihilate Biafrans because of the light we carry. Are you surprised that what we are facing today in Nigeria is exactly what the Jewish people faced all over the world? Then, Israel Declaration of Independence. I want you people to understand that the Declaration of Independent State of Israel was signed by 38 individuals. 38 signed the document of the Declaration of State of Independence of Israel. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that it was only 38 people that signed to declare Israel as an independent state? You don't know. Now you are knowing it today. I'm explaining to you. Formally, Declaration of the Establishment of State of Israel was proclaimed on the 14th May, 1948, by a man called David Ben-Gurion, the executive head of the World Zionist Organization, the Zionist organization that this Hazel founded, chairman of the Jewish Agency for Palestine, and later the first prime minister of Israel. It declared the establishment of a Jewish state to be known as the State of Israel, which would come into effect on termination of the British mandate. Our own British mandate terminated in 2014. That was when the British mandate terminated. When they say you have 100 years after that we decide. Nobody is talking about the agreement and how Nigeria become a country from amalgamation to the independence to fake independence to today present Nigeria. They put it under the carpet because nobody have risen up to challenge them. Nobody have risen up to question the existence of Nigeria. Until now, we are questioning it under the Biafra government in exile. I will question it with gun. We will question it with bomb. We will question it with civility. We will question it diplomatically, and we will question it politically. And that is the multi-dimensional approach. That thing they are avoiding to discuss, that particular existence of Nigeria, or continuation of Nigeria, they have been avoiding to discuss, will be forced to discuss. They will be forced with the activities and the actions of the Biafra government in 2024. That's where we are going. That's why all these shenanigans, all this their regional government, all this nonsense you see happening are happening today. And they have not actually started hitting the point, because the point remains the continual existence of Nigeria as a country. They are not discussing it. What was the agreement of 1914? What was the agreement thereafter? Independent. What happened for after the 100 years of Nigeria? Nobody is discussing it. And we have seen Nigeria has become the worst and evil state, a terrorist state it has become, and such state should not be allowed to stay even the next minute. That's why Biafra has decided to fight their way out, not the type of war we fought in the 67. That was a very big lesson that we have learned. And today we are fighting differently. I am telling you, if this liberation of Biafra is going to take us the next 20 years after the 2nd of December, we are ready for it. But let us continue so that you understand how freedom is fought for the past 20 years. Actually was following people who do not know what they are doing, and either they were being sabotaged, especially from Mazen Amdekano, who set up the indigenous people of Biafra, surrounded himself with criminals who were not actually fighting for freedom. Now, the event of the termination of the British mandate, Israel immediately wanted to declare their independence. Immediately that termination of the British mandate, on the same night, the event is celebrated annually, the Declaration of Israel. Now, let me also inform you that the possibility of a Jewish homeland in Palestine had been a goal of the Zionist organization, the Zionists founded by Hazel, since the late 19th century. In 1917, British Foreign Ministry Arthur Balfour stated in a letter to the British Jewish community leader, Walter Lord, that His Majesty government views with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, and will use the best endeavor to facilitate the achievement of this object. It's being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious right of existing non-Jewish community in Palestine, or the right and political status enjoyed by Jews in other countries. Now they are supporting the establishment of the state of Israel. What happens to you that is yet to get support from the British government? Have you asked yourself that? Because they see that you have been conquered. Maybe you have been conquered. Maybe you don't have the balls to fight for what is your right. Maybe because you are an African and they have come to understand that all of you are idiots. But we are here to tell them that we are not idiots, actually. We're here to tell them that we are even more advanced, more brutal to our getting our freedom, even like they will ever imagine. That is what this generation, the government, I am the prime minister, is trying to send the message we're sending to the world. Our freedom is so precious that we are ready to burn Nigeria down for us to be free. Through this letter, it becomes known to the Balfour Declaration. British government policy officially endorsed Zionism. Now, without the effort of Hazel and those that follows him, will British ever take them serious? The answer is no. Will anybody ever take State of Israel or the Jews seriously? Nobody will take them serious. But they stood up. From nowhere, a man born in Hungary family, a man born in Hungary, stood up and said, I am forming the organization of Zionism. That is what led to the freedom of Israel today. That is what made Israel become one of the most powerful countries in the world. By one single man vision. And let me also inform you that this was necessary because of the violence against Jews all over the world, just like we are facing it today in Nigeria, and solution has come through the government of Biafra. And let me also inform you that before the Declaration of Independent State of Israel, there was draft, Declaration Draft 1, Declaration Draft 2, and then Declaration Draft 3. They have the first draft, the second draft, the third draft. I want you to understand that Biafra today, we have already the first draft, and we are already in the second draft. We are not necessarily going to go to the third draft and like they did, but I'm just telling you the multidimensional approach. Remember that a few days ago, I have used Finland, and I have compared what Finland did and what Biafra are doing. Now I'm using Israel for you to understand that we have captured everything and it is woto-woto. Israel had their first declaration draft. They had that first declaration draft was done by somebody called Berenson, Zvi Berenson, or V. Berenson. One person drafted it, the declaration. The second draft was done by about 5 men. 5 men drafted the second draft of the declaration of the state of Israel. The third draft was done by 4 men. I am telling you, after that, the declaration follows, which were signed by 38 persons. Now, drafting the text, the first draft of the declaration was made by this Berenson. Union, and later a justice of the Supreme Court. At the request of Pinchas Rosen, a revised second draft of the declaration was made by 3 lawyers, Abraham, and of course, another one, David Rames. A second committee meeting, which include David and many others, produce the final text. Today, Biafra government have what we call the Declaration Drafting Committee. Declaration Drafting Committee, headed by Bryson Okoma, Dr. Bryson Okoma. Exactly the same thing. Now you are seeing similarity in the state, in the pathway for this freedom and independent state of Israel. You have also seen similarity and the pathway to the declaration of the independent state of Finland. You are also going to see another similarity from another country when I'm going to mention them. This is to tell you, and when you look at this pathway, they are not the same. The Finland pathway to freedom and Israel pathway to freedom is not the same. But what we are doing has similarity with Israel, with Finland. And there are many more, which I'm going to tell you. What I'm using is called the multidimensional approach that Nigeria can never, ever escape that. So we will make sure that if this fail, the other one will not fail. And if this one fail, the other one will not fail. And that's exactly what we are doing, because Nigeria is a complex country. Because of the vested interest of the world powers, it needed a very complex solution. And we found it. We found it. We have solved the mathematics and they found X. And they don't even know that mathematics is cooling in our fridge. So what we do is we are going one after the other to take the solution, the equation, what we use to solve this mathematics, and apply it to our everyday activities in the liberation of Biafra. Now, I want you also to understand that the vote of the 12th May 1945 was convened to vote on the Declaration of Independence. 3 of 13 members were absent. They had 13 members to vote, and 3 of these 13 members were they were absent. And some of them were being blocked in besieged Jerusalem. The difference today is that we are not only in exile, we are also in the homeland. We have those, so when they tell you you are in exile, laugh at them. We have government in the homeland called the Biafra de facto government. When they mock you that, oh, these people are doing, of course, they are no longer laughing. That's why you see the increase of attack and propaganda against us, which I warned the Biafrans a few days ago. I said, there is going to be an increased propaganda in Nigerian media. Don't fall for it. And that's to see what's happening now, because they have come to realize that it's like these people are not joking. It's like these people are getting attention even in the United States. It's like these people are having, higher level meeting with the United States Congress, United States government officials, and all that. This is no longer something that we should know. That's what you see happening on social media. Don't be distracted. I am not distracted. actually, the more this propaganda come, the more I get energy. So it is what is giving me energy is their propaganda. And once that propaganda stop coming, I will manufacture something that will make them to start talking. So what am I saying? The meeting started at about 13:45 in the afternoon and ended midnight. Decision to declare the independent state of Israel. Now, the decision was between accepting the American proposal for truce, which means at this point, there was already there was already fighting between Israel and whoever that hates them. And America was pressuring Israel for truce, while Israel is contemplating declaring their independence or accepting the pressure coming from America for a truce. And if they had accepted America for a truce, Israel will not be an independent state today. I want you to listen attentively. America was telling Israel, making a proposal for a truce. Israel was discussing between declaring their independence or listening to America. So they decided not to listen to America. The latter option was put to a vote with 6 of the 10 members present supporting it. So out of the 13% that should be voting, 3 was absent. Out of that 3 that was absent, it remained only 10%. So now that 10% now decided to vote whether to declare Israel as a state, independent state, or to agree on America's proposal for a truce. So they put it to vote. Now, 6% voted to declare independence of Israel. 4% voted not to declare, to follow America. Are you listening to me? How many? 4 versus 6, only 2% made the difference. What you see Israel become today. So when you are talking about Biafra, or people are telling you don't do this, don't listen to them. 1% can make a difference.
Yes.
1%. Now, I am telling you this history so that you will now compare what we are doing, where we are today, just within 2 years. And you see that what we are doing is divine. When God said the time has come, even if you call Simon Èkpá a witch, the witch will possess me and deal with you. And I will accept the witch to possess me. Some of them say I'm a witch. I agree. And I accept it. And you know what witch can do. Now, 6% voted for the declaration. 4% voted against it. And their names are there for everybody in Israel to see who were against the declaration and who actually voted for it. So which of the side of history are you supporting today? Which side of the history? Are you for Biafra or are you against for Biafra? Are we going to remember you as those who fought Simon Èkpá? At the end of the day, when you see 24-hour electricity, we will be looking at your name somewhere in the history book. Which side of the history are you going to be part of? Are you going to be part of those that their names will be written and their signature will be on the Declaration of Biafra document in Finland, 2024? Because this history we are doing from 2023 Biafra Convention, first ever, they never believed that actually you can have convention in exile. We did it. They didn't believe. They say you're paying money to come to Finland. You came to Finland. We had many declarations, including a Helsinki Declaration document, which is the Biafra Charter. We had a Helsinki Amazonia Declaration, which is the alliance between Biafra and Amazonia. All those things are going to come later on in the history book. And people are going to study how we outsmarted the most ruthless and the terrorist country in Africa. Now, those who voted for the Declaration of Independence of Israel, now after that, they now went into final wording of the declaration. The draft text was submitted for approval to the meeting of the Motez Ham in Tel Aviv on 14th May. The meeting started again around 1:50 in the afternoon and ended 3 o'clock. an hour before the declaration was due to be made. Despite ongoing disagreement, members of the council anonymously voted in favor of the final text of the declaration. During the process, there were two major debates countering on issues of border and religion. I want you to understand that the state of Israel, when they were debating about their border and religion, they decided to omit anything border. Do you understand? Israel declaration did not have a border. They don't know the map of Israel, of the state of Israel. But Biafra today, we have our map defined. Subject to whoever that want to dispute it, subject to the most widely accepted democratic system, which is referendum, which we have already conducted and conducting. So today, Biafra has a map, Biafra has state structure, Biafra has every government institution put in place. But Israel declaration don't have a map. Israel don't have a map. And they decided to declare independence without map. And they said the UN can now decide what the map will be. I am telling you, this is something that you need to understand how freedom is being fought